Hi guys, welcome back to Scrap in Scotland. Good to see you all back again. Today we're going to do a quick teardown of some hard drives. As you can see here, we've got a little pile of small hard drives. Kind of thing you get out of laptop computers. And we've got a much bigger one here. This actually came out of a digital satellite box. Okay, it's actually quite a big one, this one. Normally these ones you get from about 500 gigabytes up to 1 or 2 terabytes. You can actually sell these as they are. If they're good working hard drives, you don't have to tear them down. Because I get a lot of them from local people, I tear them down and make sure that obviously no data, information, anything like that is leaked into the public domain. So I'm going to tear a couple of these down for you. I'm going to tear down one of the small ones and I'm going to tear down the large one. So what are we looking to get out of these? A couple of key things is the hard drive itself is made of aluminium. Okay, so the outer casing is all aluminium. The little boards themselves are quite high grade, and there is some nice gold plated fingers on the end of these boards. Inside, as you can see here, there's a little bit of brass attached to the actual motor that's inside it. And then inside as well, we've also got some more aluminium, some more gold, and we actually have some platinum as well. Okay, so we'll go over what they are, what that's all about, and we will take them all apart. Okay, so first things first, we'll choose one of our smaller ones, have a quick look to see what's probably the easiest one to take apart. With most of these, you will find that it is like micro scrapping. You do need the small screwdriver set. Ones like this one, they have these little kind of starry screws. As you can see that there. If you've not got the right bit, they can be very difficult to take off. So you really need a small screwdriver set for these. I've actually got one here that's just normal screwdriver, bits in them, little screws. Excuse me, a little Phillips screw, and we'll just remove that nice and easy. Okay, so we'll start by taking this one apart. As you can see, on the back we've got the little star screws. Well, on the, if you want, that's the front. On the front we've got star screws. On the back we've got the Phillips screws. Okay, so put these ones aside at one moment, and we'll get our little screwdriver set out. Okay, pieces on the back. It's a very small screw, so we will take a small Phillips screw, so screwdriver bit, and we'll take these screws out. As you can see, very small screws. Okay, tiny little thing. With these as well, if you don't have the right bit, what you find is you end up rounding these screws and then they become very difficult to take out. So if you haven't already, you're doing scrapping to this level, then, you know, invest in a nice little screwdriver set. I would recommend you go for one that's really designed for taking apart things like mobile phones or tablets, that kind of thing. That will give you the right kind of size screw heads that you need. Okay, I'm going to try and peel off this little protective layer. The one that says do not remove. Well, that's fine because we're not trying to invalidate any kind of warranty or anything like that. We're taking this apart, we're scrapping it out. So it doesn't matter, we can take this apart. Okay, takes the plastic wrap off. Leaves a little bit of crappy paint behind. That's fine. Just making sure there was no other screw heads. There is a couple at the top here, so we'll get them off. Okay, and that should release our little board. So here's our board. Take off the protective coating. And as you can see here, we've got some IC chips. Here, one here. And then we've got a couple of little items, a couple of monolithic capacitors. Not much else there. But what you're really going for here is these gold plated pins. Okay. So that's our first item from our little scrapping. Okay, on the back side, we now need a little starry screw bit. So we'll change our bit. Okay, I'll start out small, just again to make sure that if it's not the right one, then we're not rounding the screw head. Okay, so I've started out with a really small bit here. And we'll see if that one fits. Okay, so that one's just turning. So that one's a little bit too small. So we'll go for our number 3. We'll try that one. Again, it's too small. Up to the number 4. And that one's just too small. So it looks like it's going to be a number 5. And there you are, perfect fit. Okay, so we'll get all these screws out. Now usually under this plastic wrap somewhere there is another screw. It's very unusual just to go through the visible screws and be able to take the lid off. But we'll see, we'll have a look. We'll get off all the visible screws first of all. And normally you'll find the screws on the outside are going to be the same screws that are in the inside. So hopefully the one bit, once you find the right bit that is, will be the bit that you use to take them apart. Now, you'll find these screws as well. I mean, this is a magnetic head on the screwdriver, and it's not picking up any of these screws. Oh, it did pick up the ones on the other side, but it doesn't seem to be picking up any of these star screws. It seems to be picking up the Phillips ones. I'm not sure if they're stainless steel or if indeed they're brass. So if anyone knows, that'd be great. If you could leave a little comment down below, let me know. I'd appreciate that. Apologies for the cough. I've been at football practice today. I am also a football coach, and a very vocal football coach. So lots of shouting today. Hence the throat's a little bit sore, and you can probably hear in my voice that the throat has went a little bit. But you know what? We were 3-0 down today, guys. 3-0 down in a cup game. And we won 4-3. So, I'm happy to lose the voice for a great comeback and a great win for the team. Okay, just try to get this last sticker off. This is probably the one that's going to reveal a screw. I have absolutely no nails. I could probably just poke a hole through it, but okay, so there we go. Reveals another screw. So at least I wasn't wasting my time with that. Get that screw out. And that's us now, got all the screws, and we're ready to release the lid. Okay. Okay. There's our lid released. Again, with these, just stick the magnet to these guys. These can be aluminium, they can be just steel. So just stick the magnet to it and have a look. We'll screws at one side. And there we reveal the inside of the hard drive. Okay, so as we can see, we've got the normal same kind of screws that are keeping in the reader head. These reader heads are usually aluminium, and this piece here, this platter, has a coating of platinum. Now what I would say is it's a very thin coating of platinum. Okay, you need an awful lot of them to recover any platinum for them. Okay, but you can sell these plats online. You can sell them. I haven't tried to actually sell mine yet, and I've got dozens of them. Absolutely dozens of them. Okay, it's a strange little screw head that's keeping those ones in. I don't know if you can see that for that angle. It's not like a Phillips screw. It's like a kind of three-way screw. I should have a screw head for it, but yeah, let's wait and see when we get there. It may be difficult to get that out. Nothing's ever easy in the scrapping game, guys. Anyone that does scrapping will know that. Nothing's ever easy. But we'll have a look, we'll see what we've got and see if we can get those screws out when we get to them. First of all, we'll take out the ones that we know we can remove. Okay, now the back end of this piece, this is a little piece of aluminium plate, and sometimes these little pins here are gold, sometimes they're not. These ones are gold, okay, they're gold plated. So now we get the reader out. The reader is held in by a couple of magnets, and those magnets are neodymium magnets, the most powerful of magnets, and they are powerful, they're very powerful. And again, you know, I've got a box full of neodymium magnets. Again, you can sell these online, sell them on eBay. As I say, they're very strong magnets. So you need to be careful not to get your fingers trapped when you're working with the harder hard drives. Smaller hard drives, not so bad. Okay, so there's the first neodymium magnet. This one has the neodymium on it. Sometimes it's just one side that has it on these smaller ones. This one, looking at the bottom plate, also has a neodymium magnet on it. Okay, so it's a two-way magnet. Okay, we just release that screw. That should allow us to now release the reader. Okay, there we go. So there's a little reader. Okay, now down the edge of these readers there is a little piece of gold that runs right down inside it. It's actually really high quality gold, but it's very small and very hard to find. Okay, the thing itself is made of aluminium, as you can see there. You do need to usually pop that centre piece out. That centre piece is usually not aluminium. Then you can see there we've got a nice little coil of copper on there as well. Okay, so I might not expect any copper on the morn taking that apart, but there you go. There's a nice little bit of copper there taking apart this hard drive. Okay, put that to one side. And again, our little gold bearing pins. Okay, and now we'll take out the bottom neodymium magnet. Okay, so there's that there. We'll just put these back together. Okay, put that to one side. So now we're looking at the last plate to release the plat itself. Okay, so what we need is a specific thing that will take this apart. I'm looking at my bits that I have here, and again we'll start with a smaller piece and see if that fits. If not, then we'll move to a larger piece. Well, there you go. The first one we try has worked a treat. Now I'm just going to try and see if I can show you the bit here. See if we can focus on that in it. So as you can see, it's a very strange little bit, yeah? And it needs a specific tool to get that out. Okay, your normal Phillips screw, your normal flathead screw is not going to get that out. Starry screw is not going to get that out. So as I say, guys, you really need to invest in a proper little tool set to make sure you're covering all bases when it comes to these little screws. Okay, if you don't have these kind of sets, then you're simply not going to get this out without breaking it, breaking the plat disc, and then that becomes a little bit pointless, doesn't it? So, okay, so top piece, the little plate that was keeping it in, it's just a little bit of steel. We'll stick that to our steel lid, and then there's our little platinum coated disc. Okay, stores all your information on your hard drive. Okay, made of aluminium. Some of these are like a glass as well, not always just aluminium. Some of them are like a glass. So just something to be aware of. They can break if they're the glass ones. Okay, and that leaves us with our shell. Okay, and the shell, as I said earlier, does contain a motor. This is the motor. Okay, as you can see, it turns. Okay, what I usually do is I stick it on top of the vise, get a hole punch, stick it right on the centre there, and just punch that through, and that will break free this motor. Okay, obviously not do that at the moment because I'm in the house, I'm not in the shed and in the workshop, so I'll not do that at the moment. When you are taking it to the scrapyard, guys, make sure you remove these little things here. Okay, anything like that needs to be removed. Okay, you'll see it around the edge here as well. Does need cleaned up a little bit, this one. We'll do that later. but just make sure that it's nice clean aluminium, okay? Any kind of little thing like that, the scrapyard can get a little bit fussy with it and they may not take it in that kind of way, okay? So it needs to be cleaned up. Okay, so that's a small hard drive. Done. Aluminium case, aluminium reader, little bit of copper, neodymium magnets, little bit of gold bearing here, little bit of gold bearing down here. Okay, and a little bit of steel as well. Okay. And obviously the platinum platter. Okay. So that's a little one. We'll move on to the bigger one. Now it's going to be much of the same in terms of, you know, what's inside. It is going to be very similar, but naturally it's going to be a little bit bigger. The key thing here with these ones is obviously you've got a much bigger piece of aluminium, and it may be that we get multiple discs. Okay, maybe not just a single disc, maybe multiple discs. I think I've seen up to 3. I'm not sure if I've seen 4. I may be exaggerating if I say 4. But I've definitely seen 3 discs in one. So anyone that's collecting the discs, like I say, for either platinum recovery or to sell the discs online, then the big ones are the ones to get. Yeah, definitely. But it is really a nice big chunky aluminium this as well, yeah. As I say, if you're able to access the hard drive and clear it, wipe it, then you can try and sell these. Yeah, you can try and sell them just as hard drives. Obviously, the more desirable ones are going to be the ones that are, you know, bigger, like I say, the terabyte ones. But yeah, sure the 500 megabyte ones aren't quite as desirable nowadays. 500 gigabyte certainly would be a bit better, half a terabyte. But as I say, your new kind of digital boxes nowadays, they all come with roughly a terabyte of space. Okay. I would clean that up later, but at the moment I'm just trying to get to the screw head, so we'll take the screw head off, and then we should be able to just pop this top off. Okay, what I'll do is I do have a little wedge, should help me pop this off. Nope, that's not working. Let's try another one. It's a little stubborn one, this one. Okay, these wedges are actually pretty crap. So what I'll do is I'll get my little other screwdriver with a flathead and pop off that way. Be a little bit easier. Okay, then we can get the fingers in and just pull it off. Okay, doke. So this one, by the weight of it, is definitely steel as well. So we'll put that to one side. Then that reveals the inside. Excuse me. the inside of our big hard drive. Okay, so there we go, there's a bigger one inside. Again, we've got the aluminium reader. Again, we've got the platinum discs. This piece on the outside, that actually can be aluminium, machined aluminium, or it can be steel. I've seen all different ones. I've actually got a nice collection here with these. I would actually like to make a little kind of funky drafts board with them at one point, but yeah, we'll see if we can get a nice collection of ones that are very similar or the same to be able to do that. Again, as I say, the neodymium magnet. It's a nice big one here. Yeah, and when we pull this out, we'll have a look at this part again to see if it's gold bearing pins are in it or if not. So the first thing we'll do on this one, okay, that one is slightly different size. Magnet ones are the same size. So we'll take the magnet ones out first before we change our bit. Oh. Again, these screws on inside are magnetic. So again, if you know what they are, please comment below. If they're brass, if they're stainless steel, I would love to know. They're definitely not aluminium. They're too heavy to be aluminium. My guess is stainless steel. But again, I'm sure there's someone there in the know that will be able to clarify. Okay, so first magnet, let's get that off. It's stuck in somewhere. Okay, we do have to get that magnet off the top one to release. There we go. Okay, so as I said before, as you can see, it's not always that it's got the neodymium on both sides. This is just a plate of steel. Okay, and the neodymium's on the bottom side. It's on this side here. Okay, so a perfect demonstration of my point I was making during the smaller one teardown. Okay, so we need a little smaller bit than what we've got. I say usually it's quite consistent and the bit remains the same. But this one, just to try and prove me wrong, the bit's a different size. Okay, it's not one size smaller, it looks like it's two sizes smaller. Again, very important that you use the right bit. Start forcing screws with the wrong bit, you will round the screw and it makes your life a pain in the buttocks. Okay, we'll see if we can release. Can we release that yet? Got one screw there, keeping that in. Okay, I'm going to use the other screwdriver so I don't damage my good one. Okay, a little kind of rubber bushing keeping that on. Get the spare screw out and out of the way. And we should be able to wedge this out. Need to be a little bit careful because it's still slightly against. In fact, let's just try and get this out first. Because what I don't want to do is put too much force trying to pull that out and then break the disc. Okay, that would be counterproductive. Okay, take that one out. Lift off a little piece. Definitely a little piece of aluminium there. Okay. And we should be able to lift the discs out. Just turn it upside down, see if the discs come out. Okay. This one's actually, there is only one disc, as I say, sometimes there's several. But this is a really thick one, yeah. Okay, there's our disc. Again, aluminium, that one. As I say, sometimes they're glass. That one isn't, that one's aluminium. That now allows us nice and easily to pull out the reader. Excuse me. Again, just looking at the kind of light, these pins on this side, they are gold. Okay, so well worth recovering them as well. And again, it's gold plate, it's not pure gold. And then, as I say, at the top of this, there's a little bit of copper as well. This going round here, that's still copper. It's a funny colour, this one, but don't be deceived by that, it's still copper, okay? And the reader itself, as I say, is aluminium. You just need to bang this piece in the middle out, get rid of that, because that piece is magnetic, as you will see if I take this piece out and stick it against it. This is the neodymium magnet. Same as the other piece, seems to be difficult getting out this side. There we go. A little bit of wedge, takes it out. So if I stick that piece on, as you can see, it sticks. Okay, and that's just because that centre piece, that centre bearing in the middle, is actually steel. The rest of it doesn't stick because it's aluminium. Okay, that won't stick. Okay, so that's the reader. Again, with the neodymium magnet, we'll just stick that back with its other piece. I'll just drop this on because, again, you get your fingers stuck in here. It's a very powerful magnet, as I say. You don't want to get your fingers stuck in between them, okay? So we'll just stick that on top like that, and we'll put that to one side. So again, that then leaves the motor in the middle. And as I said before, bang it through from this side, stick a hole punch in there, smack it through, it will release the motor, okay? There is a little kind of star of copper inside that, excuse me, and you can recover that, okay? But again, if you are hoarding the aluminium, make sure that you're taking all this kind of stuff off of it, okay? Make sure that's nice and clean. Scrapyard do not like it, okay? So we'll get the board out of this one. Okay, pull that board off. It's a very similar picture to the other board. You know, the size matter. Doesn't mean there's a lot better and better stuff on it, or you know, a lot more stuff on it. It's pretty much the same picture. You've got a couple of IC chips, you've got some monolithic capacitors, and then you've got your gold pins. Okay, and again, these gold pins, you know, once you extract them, sometimes you'll see here, if this is all gold here, then the gold pins will be gold on both sides. If that's silver there, then it's most likely the gold pins will just be gold on one side. Okay, not both sides. Okay, and then apart from that, you've got your nice big thick chunk of aluminium. Okay, just a little cleaner pad there. So let's have a little look at what we've got from the size of them and the differences in terms of size wise. So here's our 2 aluminium casings, okay, or 2 steel lids, or 2 readers, or 2 neodymium magnets, or 2 boards, and our 2 little protective plates keeping our platinum discs in. Okay, then you've got your little pins here attached to your readers, both gold bearing on this occasion, so that's good. And then lots of screws, as I say, some steel, something else, either brass or stainless steel. So yeah, looking forward to some comments on that. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching that video. I hope that was interesting to you. The one other thing obviously was the difference in the discs. So there's the big disc, and there's a small disc. Okay, stick them next to each other. Just let you see that quickly. Okay, quite a difference in size there. If you like that video guys, obviously as always, hit that like button, hit that share button, share it out to your communities. Please hit that subscribe button as well. And you know, if you like videos and you're waiting for the next one, then please ring that bell as well, and you'll get a notification when there's new videos loaded to the channel. As you can see, I've had a bit of a trim as well, a bit of a New Year trim. Looked like Santa Claus a little bit before Christmas, so trimmed that way down. Bit of a different look if you've been watching my previous videos. But yeah, thanks for watching that one guys. As always, it's been a pleasure for you guys coming along and watching that teardown. As I say, these are things that you come across quite often. And if you do have a lot of the bigger items, it adds up a lot in terms of the aluminium, because it is a nice big heavy chunk of aluminium. Okay, but what I would say is, with everything when it comes to scrapping, if it works, you know, and you have the means to erase the hard drive, then try and sell it online. Yeah, you'll probably get a lot more money for that than you ever will do scrapping it out. Okay, so just be aware of that. You don't have to scrap everything. You come across items, you have the means to make sure that the information is safe and secure. You know, you're not putting anyone's data at risk. Then sell them online. Yeah, make a little bit more money that way than you ever will do from scrapping. Personally, I like to scrap everything down, as I say, just to make sure that none of that data is available to anyone. I do have the means to erase the data, but then I couldn't do scrapping videos for you guys if I was going to do that. So thank you again for watching the video. Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, you've been watching Scrapping Scotland. We'll see you on the next teardown. Bye now.